I am speaking to you from the cabinet room at 10 Downing Street. This morning, the British ambassador in Berlin handed the German government a final note. By 11 o'clock, that they were prepared at once to withdraw their troops from Poland. A state of war would exist between us. I have to tell you now that no such undertaking can be achieved, and that consequently this country is at war with Germany. You can imagine what a bitter blow it is to me that all my long struggle to win peace has failed. Yet I cannot believe that there is anything more or anything more that I could have done and that would have been more successful. Up to this very moment, it would have been quite possible to have arranged a peaceful and honorable settlement between Germany and Poland. But Hitler would not let it. He had evidently made up his mind to attack Poland whatever happened. And although he now says he put forward reasonable proposals which were rejected by the Poles, that is not a true statement. The proposals were never shown to the Poles, nor to us. And though they were announced in the German broadcast on Thursday night, Hitler did not wait to hear a bombing coming, but ordered his troops to cross the Polish frontier the next morning. His action shows convincingly that there is no chance of expecting that this man will ever give up his practice of using force to gain his will. He can only be stopped by force. And we in France are today going to the aid of Poland, who is so bravely resisting this wicked and unprovoked attack upon her people. We have a clear conscience. We have done all that any country can do. The situation in which no word given by Germany's ruler could be trusted, and no people or country could feel itself safe.
Mr. Speaker, on Friday evening last, I received His Majesty's commission to form a new administration. It was the evident wish and will of Parliament and the nation that this should be conceived on the broadest possible basis, and that it should include all parties, both those who supported the late government and also the parties of the opposition. I have completed the most important part of this task. A war cabinet has been formed of 5 members, representing, with the Liberal opposition, the unity of the nation. The 3 party leaders have agreed to serve either in the war cabinet or in high executive office. The 3 fighting services have been filled. It was necessary that this should be done in one single day, on account of the extreme urgency and rigor of events. A number of other key positions were filled yesterday, and I am submitting a further list to His Majesty tonight. I hope to complete the appointment during tomorrow. The appointment of the other ministers usually takes a little longer, but I trust that when Parliament meets again, my task will be completed, and that the administration will be complete in all respects. I considered it in the public interest to suggest that the House should be summoned to meet today. Mr. Speaker agreed and took the necessary steps in accordance with the powers conferred upon him by the resolution of the House. At the end of the proceedings today, the adjournment of This was a great trial of strength between the British and German air forces. Can you conceive a greater objective for the Germans in the air than to make evacuation from these beaches impossible? And to sink all these ships which were displayed almost to the extent of thousands. Could there have been an objective of greater military importance and significance for the whole purpose of the war than this? They tried hard, and they were beaten back. They were frustrated in their task. We got the army away, and they have paid fourfold for any losses which they have inflicted. Sir, when we consider how much greater would be our advantage in defending the air above this island against an overseas attack, I must say that I find in these facts a sure basis upon which practical and reassuring thoughts may rest. I will pay my tribute to these young airmen. The great French army was very largely, for the time being, cast back and disturbed for the onrush of a few thousand of armored vehicles. May it not also be that the cause of civilization itself will be defended by the spirit and devotion of a few thousand airmen? There never has been, I suppose, in all the world, in all the history of war, such an opportunity. The Knights of the Round Table, the Crusaders, all fall back into the past. Not only distant, but prosaic. These young men going forth every morning to guard their native land and all that we stand for, holding in their hands these Mr. Speaker, the disastrous military events which have happened during the past fortnight have not come to me with any sense of surprise. Indeed, I indicated a fortnight ago, as clearly as I could to the House, that the worst possibilities were open. And I made it perfectly clear that whatever happened in France would make no difference to the resolve of Britain and the British Empire to fight on, if necessary for years, if necessary alone. I have thought it right upon this occasion to give the House and the country some indication of the solid practical ground upon which we base our inflexible resolve to continue the war. There are good days. Never mind. Win or lose, sink or swim, better die than submit to tyranny, and such a tyranny. And I do not dissociate myself from them. But I can assure them that our professional advisors of the three services unitedly advise that we should carry on the war, and that there are good and reasonable hopes of final victory. We have fully informed and consulted all the self-governing dominions. These great communities, far beyond the oceans, who have been built up on our laws and on our civilization, and who are absolutely free to choose their course, but are absolutely devoted to the ancient motherland, and who feel themselves inspired by the same emotions which lead me to stake our all upon duty and honor. We do not yet know what will happen in France, or whether the French resistance will be prolonged, both in France and in the French Empire. The French government will be throwing away great opportunities and casting adrift their future if they do not continue the war in accordance with their treaty obligations, from which we have not felt able to. The House will have read the historic declaration in which it is the desire of many Frenchmen and of our own hearts we have proclaimed our willingness at the darkest hour of French history to include a union of common citizenship in this struggle. However matters may go in France, or with the French government, or other French governments, we in this island and in the British Empire will never lose our sense of comradeship with the French people. If we are now called upon to endure what they have been suffering, we shall emulate their character. And if final victory rewards our toils, they shall share the gains. Our freedom shall be restored to all. We abate nothing of our just demands. Not one jot or tittle do we recede. Czech, Poland, Norwegian, Dutch, Belgium have joined their forces to our own. All these shall be restored. But General Weygand calls the Battle of France is over. I expect that the Battle of Britain is about to begin. Upon this battle depends the survival of Christian civilization. Upon it depends our own tradition and the long continuity of our institutions and our empire. The whole fury and might of the enemy must very soon be turned on us. Hitler knows that he will have to break us in this island or lose. If we can stand up to him, all Europe may be free, and the life of the world may move forward in sunlit uplands. And if we fail, then the whole world, including the United States, including all that we have known and cared for, will sink into the abyss of a new dark age, made more sinister and perhaps more protracted by the lights of perverted science. Let us, therefore, brace ourselves to our duty. So bear ourselves that if the British Empire and its Commonwealth lost for 1,000 years, men will still say, this was their finest hour.
йти. понятны в военное время, но пагубны в настоящее время, когда война коренным образом изменила положение. Враг жесток и неумолим. Он ставит своей целью охват наших земель, порит их нашим током. Охват нашего жира и нашей нефти, порит их нашим трудом. Он ставит своей целью восстановление власти помещиков, восстановление царизма, разрушение национальной культуры и национальной государственности русских, украинцев, белорусов, литовцев, латышей, эстонцев, русских, татар, грузин, армян, азербайджанцев и других союзников Советского Союза. Их онемечение, их превращение врагов немецких княжеских народов и наведет таким образом о жизни и смерти советского государства, о жизни и смерти народа на СССР, о том, быть народом Советского Союза свободным или даст порабощение. Нужно, чтобы советские люди поняли это и перестали быть беззаботными, чтобы они мобилизовали себя и перестроили свою работу на новый военный лад, не знающий пощады врагов. Необходимо войне, чтобы в наших рядах не было места критикам и трусам, паникерам и президентам. Самоотверженно шли отечественную освободительную войну против фашистских проводителей. Великий Ленин, создавший наше государство, говорил, что основным качеством советских людей должно быть храбрость, отвага, незнание страха в борьбе, готовность биться вместе с народом против врагов нашей Родины. Необходимо, чтобы это великолепное качество большевика стало достоянием миллионов и миллионов Красной Армии, нашего Красного флота и всех народов Советского Союза. Мы должны немедленно перестроить всю нашу работу на военный лад, все подчинить интересам фронта и задачам организации разгрома врага. Народы Советского Союза видят теперь, что германский фашизм превратил в своей бешеной злобе и ненависти к нашей Родине, обеспечившей всем трудящимся свободный труд и благосостояние. Народы Советского Союза должны подняться на защиту своих прав, своей земли, против врага. Красная Армия, Красный флот и все граждане Советского Союза должны отстаивать каждую пять советской земли. Драться до последней капли крови за наши города и села, проявлять смелость, инициативу и свободу, свойственные нашему народу. Мы должны организовать всестороннюю помощь Красной Армии, обеспечить усиленное пополнение ее рядов, обеспечить ее снабжение всем необходимым, организовать быстрое продвижение транспортов с войсками и военным грузом, широкую помощь раненым. Мы должны укрепить силы Красной Армии, подчинить интересам этого дела всю свою работу, обеспечить усиленную работу всех предприятий, производить больше винтовок, орудий, патронов, снарядов, самолетов, организовать охрану заводов, электростанций, телефонные и телеграфные связи, наладить местную противовоздушную оборону. Мы должны организовать беспощадную борьбу со всякими дезорганизаторами цела, дезертирами, паникерами.
Attention.
Members of the Senate, of the House of Representatives, yesterday, December 7th, 1941, a date which will live in infamy. The United States of America was suddenly and deliberately attacked by naval and air forces of the Empire of Japan. The United States was at peace with that nation, and at the solicitation of Japan, still in conversation with its government and its emperor, looking toward the maintenance of peace in the Pacific. Indeed, 1 hour after Japanese air squadrons had commenced bombing in the American island of Oahu, the Japanese ambassador to the United States and his colleague delivered to our Secretary of State a formal reply to a recent American message. And while this reply stated that it seemed useless to continue the existing diplomatic negotiations, it contained no threat or hint of war or of armed attack. It will be recorded that the distance of Hawaii from Japan makes it obvious that the attack was deliberately planned many days or even weeks ago. During the intervening time, the Japanese government deliberately sought to deceive the United States by false statements and expressions of hope for continued peace. The attack yesterday on the Hawaiian Islands has caused severe damage to American naval and military forces. I regret to tell you that very many American lives have been lost. In addition, American ships have been reported torpedoed on the high seas between San Francisco and Honolulu. Yesterday, the Japanese government also launched an attack against Malaya. Last night, Japanese forces attacked Hong Kong. Last night, Japanese forces attacked Guam. Last night, Japanese forces attacked the Philippine Islands. Last night, the Japanese attacked Wake Island. And this morning, the Japanese attacked Midway Island. Japan has therefore undertaken a surprise offensive extending throughout the Pacific area. The facts of yesterday and today speak for themselves. The people of the United States have already formed their opinions and well understand the implications to the very life and safety of our nation. As Commander-in-Chief of the Army and Navy, I have directed that all measures be taken for our defense. But always will our whole nation remember the character of the unsworn. No matter how long it may take us to overcome this premeditated invasion, the American people in their righteous might will win through to absolute victory.